This cabbie says he's being taken for a very expensive ride, accused of a crash he wasn't involved in. But he's up against an insurance giant which says otherwise.
Emilio Pedros has driven taxis for 40 years. For 20 of them, he's transported people with disabilities.
Hello, Teresa. Good afternoon. How are you?
The 65-year-old cabbie picks up the same passengers and drops them off in the same place every week.
I was helping them. Many of them become friends.
Today, Emilio is taking us on a journey back to March 12 last year. He was dropping off a client in this very narrow street at Sydney's Rozelle.
I came into this as far as I could.
So you've pulled in front ways into here?
Yeah. And I dropped the client with the wheelchair. I reverse. Because they were working here, one of the workers decided to give me a hand for reversing. He went on that side, he's going, I'm watching through my camera. I stopped, I said thank you, and I went.
And you drove off?
I drove off.
Job done. Or so Emilio thought, until insurance giant GIO came knocking.
This is the car in question.
Emilio is adamant he didn't cause this damage GIO received a claim for.
They say my car reverse made the damage easier. Or I touched the car.
He claims these photos he took of his unmarked bumper prove it, backed up by GPS tracking information on his maxi taxi, showing he wasn't in the street when the GIO paperwork states the accident happened.
And that time there, this is 10:01. This is after I drop off, and I'm going to reverse to go.
And what time did they say the accident happened?
11. It's 1 hour apart.
The insurance company relies on a witness who, in this statement, claims to have seen the accident from 6 to 8 metres away. It describes the vehicle at fault as a disabled minibus taxi, and it states that it hit the back wheel arch of the parked car while reversing.
Absolutely nothing happens. I'm watching with my own eyes, in my camera. I never touch anything.
The damage, $1,885.49. A bill that would soar to more than $3,000 to cover GIO's costs after the company took Emilio to court.
I want justice.
Failing to lodge a defence within 28 days meant a default judgment in favour of GIO, finding Emilio liable for the crash. Unable to afford or find a lawyer to represent him, the cabbie tried lodging an appeal himself, but was unsuccessful.
Well, this is not about the money, this is about the principle. I am not guilty.
It's all well and good to defend principle, but sometimes in defending principle, it can be very, very expensive.
Lawyer Elias Tabshuri.
Because he didn't understand the processes involved in filing documents and preparing a case to go to court, the court didn't even get a chance to properly examine the evidence. So I don't think the court is at blame here.
In a statement, GIO says,
"We have considered the new information provided for the first time regarding Mr. Pedros's financial hardship. We still find him liable for the damages, but we will cease the recovery of costs."
We need to take the David and Goliath out of the system. Big corporations shouldn't be allowed to hide behind lawyers and take on mums and dads who can't afford to hire their own lawyers.
I deserve to have a fair.
What feels most unfair about this situation?
When you're not guilty, you feel you've been let down.
But Emilio says it's not just about the money. He also wants them to send him a letter of apology.